I called him Hot Wheels, and he goes, "You have no respect for Greg Abbott in his wheelchair." And I said, yeah, you're right. I don't know if he expected me to be like, oh yeah, shit, that was really bad of me, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, you're right. Fuck Greg Abbott and fuck Greg Abbott's wheelchair. Fuck Greg Abbott and the wheelchair he rode in on. My friends, how are you doing out there? It is fantastic to see you for yet another video. And you know, yesterday I covered Gavin Newsom basically bullying Donald Trump right now, and how effective I think that's going to be. It wasn't only the bullying, it was the actual policy, the attempts to basically gerrymander California in response to Donald Trump and Greg Abbott trying to rig the midterm elections over there in Texas. But I did touch a little bit on all the bullying that's going on too. And I told you guys I hadn't got a chance to follow up on it yet and really look into much of what is going on. But I had heard that there were media outlets out there throwing temper tantrums over Gavin Newsom's shenanigans on the internet. And I felt like that was pretty interesting. So this morning I spent the day going down the rabbit hole of all these media outlets that are losing their minds over this. And I looked at some other podcasts that have been giving the MAGA movement hell. And I thought, you know what? This is awesome. This is actually the right thing that's going on right now, my friends. We are in a spot basically in America right now where we have to hit back, my friends. They are trying to take the rights from American people, and we have to make a choice now at this point. Do we just step aside and be nice and say, thank you, please sir, can I have another, while they continue to take rights away from Americans? Or do we get up in their faces and fight for what's right in this country? And I know on the world stage it's hard to look at America and say there's a lot going right over there, but we've got some hope left still. We still have some things that we can do right, and it's going to require people to stand up and fucking fight for this shit. So I gotta say, I am actually thoroughly impressed with how many people are out there giving MAGA hell at this point. And like I said, I think it's the right fucking decision for everything that's kind of going on, right? Because this whole MAGA movement is fake. It's all 100% completely made up about how it's a bunch of big, tough alpha males walking around and just intimidating the shit out of people. And look, I'll acknowledge that they caught us off guard for a while. We were like, what the fuck are these idiots doing? Like, just acting like fucking children all the goddamn time. And we didn't really have a good response. And we really tried to, you know, take the high road and be the better people and all these things. And look, we're at a point in America, my friends, where we just have to get dirty. We have to get in the mud at this point and fucking stand up for ourselves. That's where we're at. But yeah, it's all fake. Every bit of it is projection, and I feel like I know that firsthand. You know, like I said, it's a bunch of like weirdo, like alpha male wannabes, but they're all like closeted homosexuals, all playing grab ass with each other about who's more masculine, and they compliment each other on each other's abs. And look, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with like being gay. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just these guys are a bunch of closeted homosexuals that cheer for the rights. Cheer for gay people to lose their rights and actively vote for gay people to lose their rights while they are gay. And it's fucking weird. And the reason I say that, look, I'm going to back that up with facts. I'm not being homophobic here. I'm not just calling people gay for the sake of doing it. You cannot get these guys together in a small space like, say, a city without them crashing the servers of Grindr. It gets so goddamn busy, they overload the servers, bring that fucking thing to its knees, and this happens over and over and over again. That's why I say it, because there's actual proof of of what's going on, all right? You know, they've tried this bully thing for years. We're just gonna bully everyone around. We're gonna be crazy, weirdo, tough guys, and we're going to intimidate the rest of America. And I'll be honest with you, for a long time it fucking worked. They had us, right? And I think we finally reached a point in this country where we realize that we have to punch back. We have to fight back with what's going on. And that's what we're seeing from guys like Gavin Newsom and Beto O'Rourke. And there's at least one podcast I want to talk about too that is giving them hell. So we're going to talk about all of that. there's one thing I want to cover really quickly for you guys. If you give me just a couple minutes of your time, this is not a sales pitch. It is about yesterday, a lot of you reached out in the comments and asked why I wasn't covering that fucking dork in Maine that had sent a letter to Canada telling them basically how, or certain Canadian provinces, telling them how they could become the 51st state. And you know what, my good friend Guard the Leaf, I love that dude. He actually reached out to me. He said, hey, you should probably cover this topic. It's going to be really good for your channel. And I said, thank you, but I have other shit going on today. And I knew that video was going to be a hit. If I did that video on Canada, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 views. And that's just kind of the way this channel works if I do things on Canada. But there's times where I have to go to the front lines of the bullshit that's going on in America and deal with that, even knowing that it's not going to get like the massive views that maybe that video would have gotten. And the truth is, the fight in America between democracy and fucking fascism is heating the fuck up, my friends. So that's why I covered that yesterday, but I will tell you what I think about it real quick, all right? I think it's fucking goofy. This is some weirdo Republican from Maine. I don't know if they got slow internet up there or what, and he just found out about the 51st state thing, and he was trying to score some political points with Donald Trump by doing that. And I did look him up, and he had an R next to his name. I noticed a lot of people saying, when I watched videos on it, they're like, Maine is a blue state. How is this happening? From the information I found, the dude's a Republican. We have douchebags in every state, no matter how blue the state is. He's goofy. I think Charlie Angus did a good job of responding to it. I think Guard the Leaf did a good job of responding to it. And yesterday, I just didn't have time to fit that one in with the shit on the front lines over here, my friends. And that's just kind of how that goes. But yeah, I think that it's stupid. I think it's fucking goofy, and I like to see all the people that were fighting back against it. And then sometimes I wonder, does this fucking clown even deserve the oxygen for everything? Because all he was doing was trying to get on Donald Trump's radar, score some political points, and be like, I tried to turn him into the 51st state. He's a fucking douchebag. So that's all I need to know about him. But that's all I know about him, because no one's ever heard of this fucking guy. Like the few people that voted for him in Maine have heard of him, and he was just trying to score political points and make himself into a household name. I would anticipate maybe some sort of run for you know, one of the bigger national offices, whatever the fuck they're called, because he's just trying to make a name for himself. That's all that's going on. Anyways, back to all this bullying that's going on. I fucking love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. As I did watch some of the Fox News responses to the shit that Gavin Newsom has been saying, and they were over there. So for those of you that don't know, hold on, let me turn this fan up. Is it hot in here, or is it just me? Yeah, it's probably the temperature. It's hot outside. Anyways, had to turn the AC up a little bit, my friends. Fox News is responding to Gavin Newsom's tweets that he's putting out that are very, very similar of the style of Donald Trump. And Gavin Newsom's office is doing that, of course, to mock Donald Trump. And this is one of those really, really fine examples that the world actually needs right now, because it proves that Fox News doesn't actually stand on any kind of principles. It proves that they are loyal to a fascist here in America, because they have nothing but problems with what Gavin Newsom is doing. It's unbecoming of the office of the governor in California. It's immature. It's childish. Huh, that's fucking weird. It's typed out the exact same way that Donald Trump would type something, which the people at Fox News worship, and they praise that guy, and they say, fuck yeah, we do whatever the fuck he wants us to do. And it's just more of that proof that we need, my friends, that they don't actually stand on anything except profiting off of being shills for Donald Trump. And that's good. I think Gavin Newsom is bringing that to light, obviously. That's a really good thing. And to me, it's fucking awesome, because we are watching as the MAGA movement, it does shrink every day, my friends. I don't have the numbers, but obviously you are watching less and less sort of passion for the MAGA thing. I can see that they're slowing down. They're getting tired because they don't know what the fuck to say anymore. They don't know how to defend Donald Trump. You know, Donald Trump, that what's the word I'm looking for? Fuck. I hope it gets here soon. There's a word scammed. That's the word I was looking for. Scammed his own fucking base with a meme coin 2 days before he came into office. Has raised the prices on all Americans through tariffs, and that money is going somewhere. I don't know where, but at the same time that it's going somewhere, Donald Trump's $400 million Qatari jet is getting renovations. Donald Trump is getting a ballroom built for himself. I'm not making accusations. I'm just saying I have a hunch about where this money's going. So all of our prices are up. Jobs are going down. He's in the Epstein list. I mean, the list goes on of people that are going, fuck, how the fuck do I defend this anymore? I don't really know. I can't do it. Now, they got some people hanging on and trying their best to defend all of this bullshit, but well, those guys are fucking dumb, my friends. That's all you can really say about it. They're just fucking idiots at this point. If you're hanging on to Donald Trump, well, there's something wrong with you. You're not very bright, and that's sort of how it's going. But the temper tantrums, my friends, the absolute fucking meltdowns that the MAGA movement is having over being treated the way that they've been treating other people for years is quite possibly the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. Look, I hear it every day, my friends, from these wannabe fucking tough guys, right? They're all gonna stomp a mud hole in my ass when they see me in the truck stop. Of course they are, right? Yeah. They try to rule by intimidation. They're not people of action, my friends. They are people of words. They are all talk, and that's all they are. And I get told every day, I catch you out there, I'm gonna kick your fucking ass, right? Since I've started this channel, my friends, since I've started this channel, now I've been around YouTube for a long time on other channels, but since I've started this one, I have been approached, I could count 3 times in a truck stop parking lot. Somebody walked up to me, and you can tell they're looking at me. They're walking straight towards me, and every time they have put out their hand, they have shook my hand, and they walked up to me with tears in their eyes, and they said, "Sir, what you're doing is the most amazing thing ever." Please, just kidding, none of that ever happened. Get it? Mocking Donald Trump because he's a fucking loser. Anyways, of those 3 encounters that I've had, my friends, every one of them has shook my hand or gave me a fist bump and said, "I love what you're doing. That motherfucker is a fascist. That motherfucker is trying to take our rights, and it is good to see a truck driver out there standing up against it." That's 3 people that have found me out here on the road doing this trucking thing. I promise you, my friends, that the Trump supporting truckers far outnumber the truckers that do not support Donald Trump. I have done a few videos on how Donald Trump is destroying trucking, which have gotten a lot of fucking views, which means a lot of truckers have watched it and have all told me about how they're gonna kick the shit out of me when they see me out here. I promise you, as I've walked across these truck stop parking lots, one of those internet tough guys has seen me out here. And you know what they did? Nothing. The point I'm trying to make is if 3 people that don't support Donald Trump and drive trucks have seen me, the odds are that 30 at least that do support Donald Trump and have seen my videos and have seen me out there didn't do a damn thing, all right? Now, I'm not challenging anybody to come whip my ass or anything like that. I'm in pretty good shape for a mid-40s trucker. Don't worry, I'll be absolutely fine. Trucking wears a lot of motherfuckers out. Look at me, I'm bouncing around the truck over here. I'm gonna be just fine, baby. But the point is, it's all talk. It's all intimidation. It's all to keep you in line and force you to do whatever it is they want you to do. And what they want you to do is take away your own fucking rights. They want you to vote against yourself. They want you to be loyal to Donald Trump. That's what these grown men want from you. Isn't that funny? That's something, isn't it? A bunch of grown men want you to be the bootlicking billionaire simp that they are and fall in line to Donald Trump. And it's going to take excuse me, us refusing to do that, of course. But there is a whole lot of bullying going on out there, and a lot of threats, but actually nothing happening. And a thing I wanted to talk about, I said I was going to mention some other podcasts, and one that I've seen a little bit before, I've only watched a few videos of theirs, has recently caused Fox News to absolutely have a fucking meltdown on air because of how they were talking. And I don't know, it's a much bigger channel than mine, so you guys probably all know them, but the I've Had It podcast, man, they fucking lit these fucking MAGA dorks up recently, which caused Fox News to have a fucking meltdown. And I don't know these ladies. I've only watched them a few times, like I said. I've always kind of enjoyed what they had to talk about, but I never really got hooked into what they were saying until this particular time. The one lady, and I don't know their names, I'm really bad at this, my friends, but the one lady was talking about all the fat ass Trump supporters being down at like the Mexican restaurants and the Chinese restaurants and all this shit, right? And she was talking about how they have so much hatred for other races. They are actively trying to have them deported. And she said, why are you at these restaurants? She said, get your fat ass over to Cracker Barrel and eat there, motherfucker. And basically, I believe her premise was that if you're so proud of being white and you're so fucking proud of taking away the rights of other people up to and including deportation and concentration camps because they are a different color than you, then, or different race, what have you, then maybe you should only participate in white bullshit. Maybe you should stay the fuck away from all the different cultures in America that actually do make America a great place when we're not fighting over dumb shit like this, and just do white people shit, right? Well, that ended up all over fucking Fox News, where they were having a goddamn meltdown, just fucking temper tantrum about what these ladies were saying, and then they didn't have a response. Fox News, they never have a fucking response. So they started attacking the one lady on her appearance. That's what they started doing. It was fucking bizarre. And yeah, look, I get it. Fair is fair. She was calling MAGA Trump supporters a bunch of fat asses, which, I mean, she ain't wrong, right? I mean, she's not fucking wrong about that. But that caused a huge meltdown. And the balls on those ladies, my friends. I want you to understand what's going on here, all right? We all need to be braver. We all need to speak up. We need to be fighting against this bullshit in any way we can. So I started looking up these ladies. Who are they? What do they do? What do they do? Apparently, they're based in Oklahoma City talking like that. And that is bigger balls than anyone in the MAGA movement has, fucking period. For you to sit in Oklahoma City, of all places in this country, and fucking talk shit about Donald Trump and talk shit about the MAGA movement, and they do it with their faces on the screen. They don't hide who they are. That's fucking bravery right now, my friends. That is exactly the kind of shit that we need to fucking see. And I know this video has been kind of rambly. I've been all over the place. I'm like having trouble focusing in this video. I don't know why. I'm really having trouble paying attention to what I'm saying in this one. So I hope it made sense. I hope it makes sense. But the main takeaway from all of this is there are people out there. There's Gavin Newsom, there's Beto O'Rourke, there's the politicians in Texas that are refusing to let them gerrymander the state, though I haven't followed up on that recently. I don't know where that's at. There's these ladies in Oklahoma City that are giving MAGA hell. There's I mean, the list is fucking expansive of people just coming out every day and swinging on this MAGA shit, saying, look, this is where you backed us into the corner. This is what you did, all right? You fucking decided that you were going to bully the shit out of America, that you were going to take away rights of other people, and you pushed us to a breaking point. We have no choice. We're cornered at this point. We have no choice but to react. We have no choice but to respond. And when you do this in sort of popular culture way, the internet, memes, South Park, things like that, it's shockingly effective how much you can swing the entire culture of a country by making fun of the shit that's going on. And sometimes that can be problematic, right? You don't want your pop culture to have that much sway over your politics necessarily. But when we're trying to drag this fucking country back from fascism, hell, it's a good thing at that point, my friends. It's a good thing. So with all the wild rambling that's going on in this video today, we're fighting back. A lot of people are fighting back. And you have to be proud of everyone that's doing that, all right? I'm not going to give myself a pat on the back. I'm going to let you guys do that in the comments. But for me, being a trucker, standing in a semi-truck in a truck stop right now, saying the shit that I'm saying, knowing full well I'm about to make a walk across that parking lot to go inside, we have to do it. That's where the fuck we're at. We have to stand up for everything that's going on. So right now, more and more people are standing up. We are over the like in the cultural war, I guess. We are smacking the living shit out of these people right now. We are dealing with absolute fucking morons, and how we ended up in this position is beyond me. It was just brute force on their part, my friends. It was just brute force, because we're dealing with the biggest fucking idiots in this country. Dumb as fucking bricks. I mean, repeat the same fucking thing over and over and over again, my friends. Oh, so you're saying that you want men to play in women's sports? What the fuck are you talking about? You're an idiot. You fell for the talking points of Fox News, you dumb motherfucker. That's what's going on here. And now they're getting all up in their fucking feelings if you make fun of their shit a little bit. I got in trouble, not in trouble, I was laughing about it, my friends, but I got bitched at about from a Trump supporter in the comments a couple days ago because I was repeating Jasmine Crockett calling Greg Abbott Hot Wheels, right? I called him Hot Wheels, and he goes, "You have no respect for Greg Abbott in his wheelchair." And I said, yeah, you're right. I don't know if he expected me to be like, oh yeah, shit, that was really bad of me, I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, you're right. Fuck Greg Abbott and fuck Greg Abbott's wheelchair. Fuck Greg Abbott and the wheelchair he rode in on, my friends. That's what I got to say about that. And look, Greg Abbott is actively working with Donald Trump to silence Americans, to take away the rights of Americans. And his wheelchair does not give him a fucking pass. And if it does, then I'm going to fall out of this truck on purpose. I'm going to hurt myself. And then I'm going to get a wheelchair and I'm going to start raising hell. And I guarantee you that MAGA will not back me up in that and say, oh, you're in a wheelchair. You can do whatever you want. They will not support that. And also, on that fucking note, we're worried about people in wheelchairs now and their feelings, are we? Well, that's weird, because while the Republican Party, when Elon Musk started Doge, was fucking firing veterans, we sure didn't give a fuck about them and their wheelchairs now, did we? But we're worried about Greg Abbott and his wheelchair. So to respond to that person that thought I was not being very polite to Greg Abbott and thought I should take it back, I don't take it back. Greg Abbott is trying to take away the rights of Americans right now, and Greg Abbott can go fuck himself. With that said, I gotta get back to work. Love you guys. Bye now.